Welcome to Spotlight. I'm your host, Jane Wernette. Today I'm joined by 3 local nonprofits, Beautifully EmpowerHEred, BrightSide Theatre, and DuPagePads.
Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, UC Bank.
You're watching Spotlight, and joining me now from Beautifully EmpowerHEred are Dorothy Pryor and Patty Mingling. So nice to have you both on the show. And Patty, obviously I know you, but Dorothy, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I'd like to start off with you telling us a little bit about your organization's mission and what you do in the community.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are a nonprofit organization for women and teen girls. We are dedicated to empowering women, providing them with mental health counseling services, as well as career counseling services, different networking options, different workshops, to just kind of help them find what they're looking for and just give them a safe space to be able to come with no judgment and, just feel seen, just feel, heard, and, be able to get the necessary resources that they need that they can't find elsewhere.
Okay. And by being an all-women space, you talked about safe space. Talk a little bit about that and why that's important.
So a safe space is where they can go and there's no judgment, where they can go and just be their authentic selves and to kind of be around other women, like-minded women like themselves, to where they can just thrive and shine and try to find, what it is they are looking for, what it is that they need to thrive in the world.
Okay, I love that. Patty, what's your why? I know you take board positions seriously, so what's your why for this one?
I think that I first heard about Beautifully EmpowerHEred years ago when Bree Wasaki, who's the founder, was just thinking about it. And the minute she talked about it, I knew I wanted to participate. I run a content marketing company, and our overall mission is just to give people a voice, to help them use their voice in confident and clear ways. And that's what I believe Beautifully EmpowerHEred does with women and girls, like just allowing them to use their voice in very confident and clear ways to make a difference in the world. And when it comes to empowering women and young women and girls, that is just at the heart of everything I love to do.
Oh, I love that. And when you say girls, give me an idea of the age. How old would I have to be?
So about 12 and up.
12 and up.
Yep.
Okay, so and that's really kind of getting into that, preteen and that's
Junior
where
high,
that kind of starts with a lot of interesting issues and conversations, right?
Oh yes,
yeah.
Very much so.
Patty, what's the one thing you wish everybody in the community knew about Beautifully EmpowerHEred?
There's so many events and programs that are available through Beautifully EmpowerHEred, but what I really, and I want everyone to know about every single one of them, but what I really want people to know is that it is, and I think, Dorothy, you said this when you said about a safe space. It really is giving young women and girls a place where they feel seen and they feel heard, they feel valued, they feel like they have the tools and the support they need to navigate whatever part of life they're in, whether it is that really rough little junior high year, or it's I'm in my career and I don't know what to do next. It gives them that. So regardless of what program or event it is, that's what they're getting from Beautifully EmpowerHEred.
Okay, give us, because you talked a little bit about, would love to tell us all the programs, but give us a couple just to give us an idea of what that might look like.
Oh my gosh, there are just so many. One of the greatest things is the Career Closet. It is a place where people can go and donate some really gently used career clothes, and everything that is sold for very inexpensive, like $3, you can go and get. So if you're getting ready for an interview and you don't want to blow all your money on it, you can go there and find really great outfits. But the greatest thing is all that money goes back to Beautifully EmpowerHEred. So it's a program that not only do you feel like you can donate and participate, but everything you purchase is going back into the program too.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's just, and there's so many different programs that happen with, with career initiatives, with financial literacy, events coming up. We have a fashion show fundraiser coming up, and things that you can participate in many different ways.
Okay. So Dorothy, talk a little bit. You're relatively new to the organization. What drew you in? Why?
Oh, what didn't draw me in? Oh my gosh, everything about it. I said to Bree when I first met her, I wish something like this was available for me when I was going through everything that I was going through with mental health and things like that. This is a place that I would love to be able to get into as many women and young girls' hands so that they know they're not alone. That's why I love this place.
Okay. And talk a little bit about that when you talk about mental health, which is obviously something we talk about a lot. Give me an idea of kind of what sort of services or what conversations are happening in that space.
So a lot of women are just looking to just be heard. A lot of women have just been hushed for so long, and they just don't have an outlet to go anywhere. Beautifully Empowered gives that to them. We provide the quality mental health counseling services for free to them, to be able to get their needs met, find out where they belong. That's what Beautifully Empowered is all about.
Okay. You love it.
I love it. I love it.
Really comes through.
It does. I love it.
Yeah.
I love everything about it.
Do you have a particular story of somebody that you've worked with that really sort of spotlights what that means?
So yeah, my very first day, a young woman came in and basically had body image issue. As somebody who struggled with body image, I knew exactly where she was coming from. So it was easy for me to step in and it's like, own your outfit. You make the outfit doesn't make you. That is something I struggled with myself. So to be able to gain that confidence and tell somebody else that just be your authentic self. You can wear anything that you want to wear, but let me help you find some different pieces in our closet.
That make you feel good.
That make you feel good. What are
Yeah.
you interested in? What are your favorite colors? What do you like?
Yeah.
So I had to learn that myself. So
Well, I love your favorite color. I think it looks great on you.
And the funny thing is purple is my favorite color.
Oh, okay.
But I look good in pink too. So
You do. I love that. I love that. Patty, how can you inspire others to get involved and be supportive?
Well, there are so many ways to be involved and Beautifully Empowered. I mean, anything from, again, donating clothing to volunteering in any organizations or any of the events or programs, to going to the events, to making a donation. But what I always tell people is regardless of how you support it, the thing to remember is every way you support it is helping, I always say, like an entire generation. You're empowering them to live into their full potential. And that is good for all of us. That strengthens our businesses, that strengthens our communities, that strengthens our families. So if we can just continue to empower these girls to be the best that they can be and to feel seen and heard and to erase those barriers of things like mental health and financial literacy and career counseling, we can erase those, kind of get those barriers away from them. Our whole communities thrive.
Yeah, I think that's so true, right? I mean, from the standpoint of we think of people sometimes as individuals, but collectively you're all contributing.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And if we're not all contributing, then the community suffers because of that,
Absolutely.
right? So it isn't just a personal situation. I love how you say that. It is a community
It is a
situation.
community. It is, and that's the beautiful thing about Beautifully Empowered. I don't mean to keep saying the word beautiful, but it is true that it becomes a community, and people feel very connected to it because they feel like, oh, we're all in this together.
Absolutely.
And it's great.
Nice to be part of a team.
Yes.
Yes.
Nice to be part of a team.
Always.
Thank you both so much for coming by. We really appreciate it. We
Thanks
wish
for
you
having us.
continued success.
yeah, absolutely.
And if you would like to learn more about Beautifully Empowered, please go and visit their website. We're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned for more Spotlight.
Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, Busey Bank.
This is the run my own business dream. This is the colleges paid for dream. This is the retire early dream. This is Busey, where your dreams and possibilities become moments through trusted guidance and expertise, through lifelong relationships. Because we're here to help you achieve the life you've always envisioned.
We live in a safe community, but not a crime-free community. If you see something, say something. Be a Naperville Crime Stopper. Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, Busey Bank.
Welcome back to Spotlight. And joining me now from BrightSide Theatre is Julie Cornack. So nice to have you here, Julie.
Thanks, Jane. So nice to be here.
Yeah, give our viewers a little bit of an overview of BrightSide Theatre.
Yes, BrightSide Theatre is Naperville's only professional theater company. We've been around for 14 seasons, and we perform on the campus of North Central College. So we typically like to provide our audience and our mission to educate, enlighten, and entertain our audiences, typically through comedies and musicals.
Okay, and that's really your background, right?
It is. So as executive director and founding member, I really wanted to find a artistic home that was close to me, as I'm now a resident of Naperville for the last 28 years. And so myself and a couple partners wanted to bring a really professional group to just the neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
Downtown Naperville and Napervillians and those around in the surrounding suburbs and even into the city come out to Naperville just to see us. And we really like to really come back to our audiences with those comedies and those musicals because life is dramatic enough as it is.
True that. So your 14th season is for the fun of it.
Exactly.
Yes, so what can we expect with that?
So we picked shows that were really just kind of a little bit of escapism, right? We have so much drama in the real world today. We didn't need to bring it to the stage. So we just picked shows that we felt were going to be really fun and engaging for our audiences. And we kick off this 14th season with the Rocky Horror Show.
Oh, yes, a classic.
A classic. Oddly enough, it's the 50th anniversary of the movie, but actually the musical actually previewed before that. So, but everyone's everyone's a little wrapped up in that 50th anniversary.
Yeah.
And it's going to take place smack dab in the heart of the Halloween season. So what a great way to start off the season and really just have a ton of fun with a really just fun, kitschy show that's been around forever. So we're excited about that. We'll then move into Phantom in Concert. Now everyone goes, oh, is that Phantom of the Opera? No, it is not. So it is actually called Phantom. It is a full musical. It was written by Murray Yeston and Arthur Coppett. And Yeston actually wrote the musical 9, which we did in our very first concert version season. Okay. So tying a little bit back to that. And he also wrote Titanic, the musical. So some of the musical theater buffs out there would know him from that. So this is not a often produced musical because really Phantom of the Opera with Andrew Lloyd Webber kind of took
Everybody
off
kind of knows, right?
Knows it.
Yes.
So this was interesting because it's really the same story that we all know and love, but the orchestrations are just so rich and warm, and it talks a little bit more about how the Phantom becomes who he is and his backstory, and there's so much more of that warmth and love through that. So it's great to be able to bring a show that many people have not seen and put that
something
again
new
in our concert version season, but familiarity is there. From there, we're going to go to Noel Coward's Private Lives. So that will be in April. And it's just a classic comedy piece where a couple of people who are recently divorced kind of meet up again on their honeymoon with their new spouses. And so a little comedy ensues.
And probably a little drama in that as well, right?
But for the fun of it, right? Absolutely. And then we end our season with a blockbuster, The Producers. So
always great.
Always a fun show to laugh at and kind of make fun of a little bit of everything. So we're excited to bring that to the stage as well.
Okay, so 4 great shows to see. Now, you have a youth program that you've been running for quite some time now. What are some of the programs that the kids can participate in?
Yes, absolutely. And we've actually continued to grow this over the years. So we started our youth program initially right in our 2nd season because we knew that was going to fill a lot of our education piece of our mission. So this season, we will have our kids performing in our first production, SpongeBob the Musical, the Youth Edition, and it is just so fun. These kids are just having a blast. It's just fun music. And so they'll do that in October. Actually, we kind of run that coincidingly with Rocky, and we just switch the set around a little bit. So same time frame, but still at the theater at Miley Swallow Hall at that location. So that is already cast, but audiences can purchase tickets to come and see that show and support the Kids Performing for Kids. It's just a great way to introduce others to the stage as well and introduce them to theater and the art of it all. So it's about an hour show, which is the perfect length for the youth to come and see.
Sure.
So then in December time, we'll actually audition and the registration will open up for our production, which will be in February for Legally Blonde, the musical Junior. So we're very excited to bring that back. It's actually the first time we're bringing back a show that we actually did 10 years ago in our kids program and bringing it back to the main stage. It's just still so popular. It's still so relevant about being true to yourself and who you are.
Yeah.
And it's a great message for the kids. So this one we take off campus of North Central College. We'll take that over to the Yellow Box Theater in Naperville.
Okay.
So that you can purchase tickets for that as well. Again, about an hour long, and it's just a great message and fun for the kids. We've got some classes that you can take for whether it be an audition class or getting to learn how to learn new choreography. We offer voice lessons with a teacher on campus, which is new to us. And then we have a full, huge summer program for our kids as well. So
yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so
what did you do this summer?
This summer we did Seussical, the musical Junior, and it was fantastic. So we basically have two camps. So we kind of rinse and repeat. So we have a group do it the first time for 2 weeks. They will rehearse with us on Monday through Friday, 9 to 2, in true camp style. On that second Friday, they're going to come back and they actually be able to perform the musical. We do it outside in the parks, so it's also free for the parents and family and friends and the community to be able to come and see it as well and see what these amazing kids do in 2 weeks to put on a full production. And then we do it, then that next Monday starts, we have a whole new group of kids come in and we do it all over again. And then that second Saturday perform for that. So we've had 2 full summer camps and opportunities for 35 kids in each of those camps to come out and participate.
That's wonderful. And, kind of just speaking as we wrap up on the parks, you've done your summer concert series for, I think, since COVID, right?
Yes.
So how has it been this year?
It's been, Mother Nature has not been as great for us with a little bit of some rain and storms that did wash a couple of those out for us. But it is a great way, again, we did pivot during COVID to take a performance outside and eliminate all the barriers for everyone in many ways, not just COVID, but for accessibility to the arts. So a free program. And so it's an hour long of music. This year was, again, kind of around for the fun of it. And next year we'll see what season 15 has to bring. But we bring it to the Naperville parks. We also branch out into Lisle, Downers Grove, and into Bolingbrook as well.
Yeah, always nice to get out and see some performing arts. And I think what a great way for young people to get some exposure to it, because I think you can never know if you're interested in something unless you're exposed to it, right? So early exposure leads to more opportunities to know if you're interested.
Absolutely. And there's so much more that the arts bring. It's really healing for the soul. It's community. It's promoting empathy. And in our education program for the kids, it's my parents call it their kids' team sport.
I like that.
And it's a great way to work together, work as a team and problem solve. And so they're learning all those things.
All of that kind of stuff. Yes. Oh, that's great. Julie, thank you. It's always such a pleasure to sit with you and hear about what you're doing. And we wish you all the best with season 14 for the fun of it.
Yes.
For more information about BrightSide Theatre, please go and visit their website. We're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned. We're coming right back with more Spotlight.
Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, Busey Bank.
This is the When Art Flourishes, Everyone Flourishes commitment. This is the Let's Revitalize Our Neighborhoods commitment. This is the Roll Up Our Sleeves and Pitch In commitment. This is Busey, where our commitment to strengthen our communities is a top priority. Through energetic, engaged volunteers, through monetary support and advocacy. Because Busey is more than a bank that does well, we're a bank that does good.
Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, Busey Bank.
If you're just tuning in, you're watching Spotlight. And joining me now from DuPagePads are Scott Ostgen and Chad Pedigo. So nice to have you both on the show. And Scott, I'm going to start right out with you. It's your 40th year of service. DuPagePads, what a great anniversary for you. Talk a little bit about how well you're meeting the needs of our neighbors who are suffering from homelessness.
Yeah, gladly. We're very excited to be celebrating our 40th year. The way we're responding to the needs of our people experiencing homelessness is that We've expanded our programs. We've grown the number of people we can serve on a nightly basis, and we're improving all the programs that we do offer so that everyone's needs can be met. We're serving right now 300 people on average every night in our shelter, which is a massive increase over our earlier years. And most nights we have over 100 children in the shelter that we're able to accommodate. We're also expanding all of our permanent housing programs, which means that everybody that we're serving, we're helping to find a destination that is outside the shelter into permanent housing so that they can have the health and wellness and a safe living environment for themselves and their family members.
Yeah, that's a lot of kids. As you said, that really strikes me that it's a lot of young people.
We're seeing a lot more families than we did in our earlier years, and we're glad to be able to meet their needs. Our shelter has been adapted so that it's much improved for family experiences, including things like having a playground, access for kids doing school, work from home, and educational advocacy.
Yeah, you've really pivoted a lot, and particularly since the pandemic, I think that was a tester, wasn't it?
Yeah, the pandemic really changed how we had to do things, and we're glad to have evolved to meet the needs.
Yeah, wonderful. Chad, what can your neighbors do to help support this mission, particularly with a growing need?
Yeah, of course. So in the 40 years that we've been in operation, predominantly we were in the church settings where neighbors were coming together. Public Action to Deliver Shelter, PADS, was always meant to be a community come together to help support neighbors, get them back on their feet. Now, in our new iteration at the Interim Housing Center, we still need that support, but we're not always in that church setting we used to be, laying pads on the floor, preparing a meal there. Instead, the dignity of a door at our Interim Housing Center with 115 rooms and averaging 300 people nightly allows community members to come and help on site, preparing meals, volunteering in our laundry room, washing linen, sheets, and towels, helping at our front desk to provide support. We even have an on-site pantry where volunteers can help shop basic care items and non-perishables to give our clients to take back to their room to use during that transition time as they've come into shelter and are working towards that long-term stable housing. In addition to volunteering on site at the shelter, we still have other ways to give back and support and be involved, a lot of which are listed on our website, and then of course contributing, whether it's dropping off a bag of food at our Access Center in Wheaton, if it's supporting online with the campaigns and things that we have, just understanding the need here. It's not always a monetary contribution, it's a community contribution to saying our local neighbors here at home deserve to have a dignified place to stay and ultimately a place to call home in our community.
Yeah, well said. You kind of make me think of a question based on what you said, Scott, and then what you followed up with, which is this concept of more children. Do you feel like, and you talked about the door, and I would imagine that if I were in that situation coming into a very open environment, I'd be more concerned about doing that with young children. But the dignity of the door and the safety of the door, do you feel like that's maybe bringing more people to your more interim housing situation?
Yes, it's really changed how families perceive what shelter is.
Yeah.
It's a much different experience than, say, staying in your car or staying in a congregate shelter or staying in a place that's not safe. Our Interim Housing Center provides safety, and the door provides privacy. There's safe access to showers, meals, even Wi-Fi so the kids can do their schoolwork from home.
Yeah.
We're working with dozens of school districts and their liaisons, so our children that are living in shelter have more stability than they ever had before too, leading to greater educational outcomes of maintaining their homework, staying in class, and ultimately, hopefully, breaking that cycle of poverty that comes with experiencing homelessness as a youth. So if we can disrupt that now to where they don't become homeless as an adult, that is a two-figure change in ending homelessness and providing solutions for them.
You see that a lot then, that kids that end up in a situation where they're homeless find themselves as adults struggling with that.
And we can disrupt that cycle here. So it's a multi-generational approach with a pioneering concept that is starting to become replicated across the United States.
It's exciting.
Yes.
I mean, it's sad that we're in that situation, but it's exciting. Scott, kind of leading into that, what are the barriers? Is it affordable housing? Is it employment? What is driving people into homelessness?
It's many, many things. Affordable housing is a key factor. The lack of affordable housing where people can afford to pay the rent or a mortgage on a place to call their own that is safe and habitable and right-sized for their family and has the support they need, that is crucial. But all the other factors are there as well. I mean, we see many people that are fleeing domestic violence for safety reasons. We serve many clients who have complex medical and mental health needs that are barriers to their independence, and we're able to help them get supported while in shelter and find appropriate housing for them. And there's many other things that clients need: stable employment, access to educational resources, transportation. And so by providing the shelter that we do and the housing programs that we do, we can help clients connect to those resources so that they can establish a pathway to permanency.
Yeah, I would imagine that if you're not worrying as much about where the roof over your head is that night, you can concentrate a little bit more on maybe some of those other areas where you need to be putting your time and your energy, right?
Absolutely.
What do we do? You know, I think sometimes you see people, you're out in the community and you think, gosh, I don't know if that person's homeless or they have a place to go home. Or conversely, if I'm somebody who is in that situation, maybe I'm couch surfing right now, what should you do? How do we reach out?
DuPagePads operates a street outreach program that can come out and engage with someone who might be sleeping rough on the streets. We have several dedicated staff members, and we have a hotline that you can call on our website to identify the location, perhaps the town, the time of day, what that person may have been wearing. A person themselves can also call for services and speak with one of our intake specialists to begin understanding through an assessment process. Are they a candidate to come into shelter with us? Is there a place they could be diverted to safely? Or what options for support might be available for them? Really reaching out to street outreach is incredibly important to us because our county is quite robust. And so being able to locate someone who may be experiencing homelessness but either is unaware of services or doesn't know how to get to those services, our team can come out to them to find them and bring them support. And we have a daytime site that would allow them to come in and wash their clothes or use the phone and internet, take a shower, other services that they might need while being on our wait list if they are a candidate to come into shelter. And the unfortunate news is, here and now, we have over 50 people currently on our wait list. So even in helping 300 neighbors, we know that there are more in need still. Being able to continue to outreach with them until we can bring them into shelter is very important, and we are here to provide that service.
Yeah, that's a very long wait list, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to think about that, and you know that there are a lot of children on that wait list with those parents. Scott, what's the best part of your job? And when I say best, I suppose it's the most meaningful.
Yeah. I mean, our work is incredibly impactful in people's lives. And for me, what I see being able to look at all the clients we serve across all the programs is the continuum that we offer. And so what really warms my heart is when we see a client or a family show up at our access center experiencing homelessness. They've been on the streets and they're looking for hope and, of course, safety and stability of housing. And we're able to bring them through into shelter, work with them through that time in shelter to access permanent housing, and we see that full transition happen and what the impact is on the family, the children, and their well-being.
Yeah, I would imagine. I mean, you're changing lives.
Yeah.
You're changing lives. How about you, Chad?
For many years, DuPagePads has been known to say when someone believes in you, everything can change. And I think more than ever, we are giving people a reason to believe in us, to believe in our neighbors. This new solution that we've innovated is really changing lives for the better and is doing so on a scale that can be replicated around the nation, if not around the world in different ways. And that is inspiring to me and has been one of the most meaningful pieces of our work so far.
Well, I can say that you are both very inspiring, and we thank you for the work that you're doing on behalf of many of our neighbors who just are going through a hard time and need a little help, right? And if we can do that and we can change that trajectory for the next generation, that's a great thing to be involved in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you for stopping in.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
To find out more about DuPagePads, please go and visit their website. I'd like to thank all of my guests for joining us on Spotlight, and our friends at Busey Bank for their generous sponsorship of today's show. To learn more about the organizations featured on this episode, please visit our website at nctv17.org. And to stay informed about what's happening in our community, sign up to receive our daily news update and like and follow us on social media. For Spotlight, I'm Jane Wernette. Thank you for watching.
Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, Busey Bank.